up, people? It's your girl Adiola. I really apologize for the long break. I was in Nigeria briefly, so due to technical difficulties, internet difficulties, I couldn't do a show while I was there. We're actually driving from an IDP camp in Makurdi in Benue State to another IDP settlement in Ogoja, Cross Rivers, when I heard about Sowore's arrest. And you know, I've been wanting to make a video since then, but I just got back from Nigeria yesterday. Sorry, by the way, I'm still jet lagged, so if it looks like I'm sleeping while I'm talking to you, so no vex. So I wanted to talk about his arrest and why I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that he's calling for a revolution. There's absolutely no reason to arrest Sowore. I've seen all kinds of comments online. Whether you agree with how Sowore does his things or not, he has every right to call for a protest, and he has every right to call for a revolution if truly we are practicing democracy in Nigeria. Revolution is calling for a change in government, which Nigeria desperately needs. But a lot of people have issues because revolution also means a forcible overthrow of a government. So they are saying that Sowore is planning a coup, and I'm like, for God's sake, Sowore has no resources to stage a coup or forcibly overthrow this government. And he made it clear that he's calling for a revolution through a peaceful protest, which hadn't even happened when they arrested him. The whole time that Sowore was running for president, he was also calling for a revolution. It wasn't as if he just started saying this and they didn't arrest him at that time.
They have overrun our lives, and the solution, people, is the revolution. That's right. We are not going anywhere without adding a revolutionary favor to this next election.
That video was shot at the African Leadership in the Millennium Symposium that they held on October 15, 2018 in Ikeja, Lagos. He said so many things that day. Nobody arrested him. He's been calling for revolution for a long time. This is why I don't think that Sowore was arrested for calling for a revolution. But isn't he right that Nigeria needs a revolution? I just came back from Nigeria. Like I said, nothing has changed. I was interviewed at the Nation newspaper and I said to them, all you need to do is look outside. Just look at the roads outside and you would know that Nigeria needs a revolution. I don't even want to talk about the roads between Enugu to Makurdi in Benue State or the one from Makurdi to Cross River. It was a nightmare. I just could not believe those were roads. But we had to see the refugees, so we had to travel on those roads. But even within Lagos, the roads were terrible. Nigeria needs a change. And people have been calling for a revolution for a long time and they don't get arrested for that. Even this present administration was calling for a change during their campaign. I mean, what is that? I don't see why anyone should be offended that someone is calling for a revolution in a country where people are being killed every day by Boko Haram, where people are being killed by herdsmen, by armed robbers, where people are being kidnapped, where countless others are dying on the road every day. I saw a number of accidents while on this short trip, and many of them were because a car or trailer was trying to avoid potholes, so they drive on the other lane. And before you know what's happening, there's a head-on collision. I mean, people literally spend the whole day in traffic in Lagos. I was like, what kind of life is this? You can only do one thing in a day in Lagos. Hospitals are not well equipped. NEPA takes light every single day, even in hotels. What kind of country is that? We desperately need a revolution. And where was the government when the Mieti Ala cattle breeders threatened the southeast if they don't get Ruga?
So long as the Fulani would not be allowed to enjoy their citizens' right of living and flourishing in any part of this country, including the south, no one should also expect us to allow any southerner to enjoy the same in northern Nigeria.
Seriously, nobody arrested this man for saying that on national TV, okay? Even an unborn child in Nigeria knows that that country needs a revolution. So honestly, I don't think it's because he called for revolution this time around. I think Sowore is just one of those people that they've been wanting to arrest for a long time. And not just him. If they could have their way, I think they will arrest everybody that challenges the atrocities of this government, their incompetency. So I think they're afraid of what could happen if people actually come out to protest, because they realize that people may actually wake up and demand for their rights. They don't want people to demand for their rights. And in their mind, they're probably trying to make him a scapegoat for anybody else that may want to call for a revolution or for a protest. And not just that. A few weeks ago, before his trip to Nigeria where he was arrested, Sowore met up with Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of Biafra, when he visited New York. And according to Sowore, he said that they are trying to form some kind of alliance to end oppression in Nigeria.
And those of you out there who think that we have such big differences that we can't talk, well, you know that when people have revolutionary minds, these minds meet and the bodies eventually do meet. So thank you so much, Kazi, for the meeting.
Now, Nnamdi Kanu has a lot of followers, as you know, and the government obviously has issues with Nnamdi Kanu. Believe it or not, they are afraid of Nnamdi Kanu because of the influence that he has on his followers. This is a man who was able to order thousands of people not to register for the election, and they did not. And the government is also evidently afraid of Sowore. Seeing Sowore come together with Nnamdi Kanu, I don't even think that they have any alliance, but I think that the Buhari's government is afraid of a real revolution. They are afraid that young people may actually come out for a protest and that could lead to a revolution. So that's why I think that they arrested Sowore. They're just hiding behind his call for a revolution. I think the protests is what they're actually afraid of and what could come out of it. Detaining him is violating his fundamental human rights. He did not stage a coup. He called for a peaceful protest. He's been calling for a revolution for a long time. And for those saying that he should be arrested, tomorrow that may be you when you eventually get tired of this government. I mean, this man has fought for so many people who were unjustly arrested. He will be the first to report it on his website. Buhari's people had no problem with him calling for a revolution when Goodluck Jonathan was president. It's sad to think that our vice president is educated or that he's a lawyer, and this is happening. What these people don't understand is the fact that the longer they keep him, the more he becomes another Nnamdi Kanu. The more popular he becomes, the more international organizations get interested in his case, and when they eventually release him, he will have a huge crowd as well, just like Nnamdi Kanu. And then he becomes Egungweja Siwolorun. Say that in English. It becomes a bigger problem when he gets out. And guess what? They are the one making him a hero. Just like they made Nnamdi Kanu a hero, they're about to make sure they're a hero. What they don't understand is that they're actually doing themselves one sit down. Does that mean that tomorrow, if you decide to call for a revolution, they will arrest you and that would be it? Like, seriously, this could happen to anyone. Anyone could call for a revolution. It don't take. When people don't talk, say, this country needs a revolution. And he's been calling for a revolution for a long time. It wasn't as if he just started calling for a revolution. It makes absolutely no sense. In America, people are calling for Trump to be impeached, and they don't hide it that they want him impeached. They don't arrest anybody for saying that Trump should be impeached. How much more a country where things are obviously not working, where there is no security? I don't know who's advising this government, honestly, because in a truly democratic country, there is freedom of expression, but obviously your freedom is not guaranteed after the expression in Nigeria, which makes me wonder if truly we're a democratic country. You guys not do much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I sign out, I will definitely be making a video about my trip to the IDP camp in Benue State, as well as the IDP settlement of the Cameroonian refugees, where you made it possible for us to build this toilet. Yes, you guys made it possible for us to build this toilet for the refugees, as well as the borehole that I've already showed you in the past, and I'm really excited about all that you guys have made possible. So I'll be giving you a detailed report in another video, but I just thought I should talk about Sowore's arrest and why I don't think it's a smart move by the Nigerian government. So don't forget to subscribe if you're yet to. Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, I'ma see you later. Peace out.